Hi, I'm Luke. I'm a friend. They just called me over.
Okay, right. Are you with the patient now?
They are there.
So do you think she is beyond any help?
Yeah, I mean, there's some blood from her mouth. She's slumped over, yellow, blue fingers, cold, they're stiff, like hard.
Totally True Crime.
Welcome to Totally True Crime. Today's case is going to take us to Mersey Island in Essex, England. Carol and Stephen Baxter were a hard-working couple. For decades, they had been building their own business. They sold shower mats, and their business traded under the name Splash. Their shower mats were sold through popular retailers, including Amazon and Etsy. They started their business in 2012, and it was around this time that they decided to hire someone who could help them run their website. They were in their 40s and they had a family, so growing the company and being able to hire help was an exciting move for them all. They hired a man called Luke DeWitt to help them, and he soon became a firm fixture in their lives, both in work and socially. He was 22, and he described his relationship to them as like a son. The Baxters' daughter Ellie saw him like a brother too. Luke was described as weird by the family, but he was a hard worker and he got on well with everyone. Carol was battling a few medical conditions, including Hashimoto's disease. It's an autoimmune reaction that causes an underactive thyroid. Symptoms can include tiredness, weight gain, feeling cold easily, muscle aches and cramps, dry skin, and carpal tunnel syndrome. It can be taxing, both mentally and physically, and Carol found it difficult to live with. But Carol wasn't the only one suffering with poor health. Luke told the Baxters that he had been diagnosed with bone marrow cancer. The Baxters were devastated, and they made it clear that they would be there to help him. He told them he was receiving treatment at Colchester Hospital and that he would have to go for scans to check on his cancer's progression. Luke's father passed away in 2021, and the Baxters grew even closer to him, treating him more like their own son. He had been working for them for 9 years, and as he lived just 5 minutes away from their house, he became a frequent visitor. But Carol's health problems didn't seem to be getting any easier, and she and her husband made the decision to reduce their workload within their company and started planning their early retirement. Their shower mat business had made them millionaires, and they wanted to spend their retirement travelling and spending time with their family and friends. Luke knew this was the plan and he supported it. Carol also started to look online for help and advice for her thyroid problems, and it was through an internet forum that she met a doctor called Andrea Bowden. Dr. Andrea Bowden was based in Florida, America, and would offer alternative advice on how to manage her symptoms. She told Carol to cut down on seeing her friends and family, because when she did, her body would release happy chemicals in her adrenal glands, which would end up worsening her symptoms. Carol also found an online support group for people who suffered with Hashimoto's disease, and she would talk to the members for support and advice. Other members of the group backed up the information that she was getting from Dr. Bowden, saying that they had also been helped by her. Luke would also help make health drinks made from ingredients that Dr. Bowden recommended to Carol. He also helped her with taking her medication. But Carol's health started to get worse. She would spend a lot of time in bed and in pain, leaving her husband and her daughter Ellie feeling helpless. Ellie also had a close relationship with Luke, and she had dreams of becoming a singer and an actress. She'd recently been in touch with a talent agent that she'd met online, and they told her that they could help her get work. Knowing that Luke was good with technology, Ellie asked him to film some auditions. In one tape, Luke recorded her singing the song "I'd Do Anything" from Oliver. It was a distraction from seeing her mother's health decline, and it gave her some hope for the future. But on Easter Sunday 2023, everything would change. After being unable to reach her parents for a day and a half, Ellie knocked on her parents' door to check in on them, but there was no answer. Her partner Marcus was with her, along with their baby son. After going round the back of the house, Ellie peered through the window of her parents' conservatory and saw both of them in their armchairs. Neither of them were responding to Ellie's attempts to get their attention. Ellie called Luke, who arrived moments later, and they smashed a window to enter the property. It is then that they discover both Carol and Stephen Baxter are dead. Luke calls 999.
Hi, I'm Luke. I'm a friend. They just called
Right,
me over.
okay. Right, are you with the patient now?
They are there.
Right, okay.
They're
So-
stiff.
You're saying there, so just to confirm, how many people are hurt?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Well,
How many people require help, just to confirm?
two. A husband and wife.
Right. Stay on the phone with me. Right, just down, sorry, just stay on the phone with me, please.
So I need to come outside. It's their daughter, you can hear.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I'm organising help for you now. Just stay on the phone with me. Right, so just to confirm, so...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you inside. You can hear their daughter's devastated. I'm here.
Just tell me exactly what's happened from what you know, please, just so we can all go to best help.
Well, we've just turned up to the house, and we hadn't really heard from anyone for about a day and a half. So we came round, and their daughter got here first, and I think they got round to the back, saw through their conservatory that they were sitting in their armchairs, not moving. And we smashed the window to get in. But, yeah, they're both stiff cold. And...
Right, okay. Just stay on the phone, we'll go to help you now. Just stay on the phone, please.
That's fine.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to process two separate calls for both these patients involved, okay? So if I just take a call for, you said it's two, so it's the female in question. How old is she, please?
She's 64, her name's Carol.
Okay. And we'll go to help you now, just stay on the phone.
Thank you.
So just with regards to Carol's condition, so do you think she is beyond any help?
Yeah, I mean, there's some blood from her mouth. She's slumped over, yellow, blue fingers, cold, they're stiff, like hard.
Okay.
Any chance we can wrap out soon? I need to go and be with their
I
daughter.
really appreciate it. I will get, I'm trying to be as quick as I possibly can, so just so I can, make sure we've got that help organised. Okay, it's been really well, okay. So just with regards to the male condition, just to confirm, do you think he's beyond any help?
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Thank you. And his name?
Stephen Baxter.
Stephen Baxter, brilliant, thank you. So more guys help you now, and as soon as I want to assist you, okay? So help has all been organised, okay? I'll leave you in the first one's hands, okay?
Thank you.
No worries, bye.
Bye.
Luke is approached by officers on the scene.
And you say you last saw them on Friday?
Friday. I got home just before 8, so that's when I left. And me and Steve were just talking about work and just the business, because Carol can't work anymore.
Yeah.
Last year she's not been able to do anything.
Okay.
So we're just having a chat, but he didn't really feel up to it and just
fair enough.
asked me to go. So
That's fair enough.
I was going to come back tomorrow and
just check on them again.
use the gym, and I'm used to checking on. I always pop in.
Yeah.
Because they wanted this weekend, Easter weekend.
Just left them to it.
So with me, I was out with those two last night. Took them for dinner for Eddie's birthday, and Steve's mum, Irene, who lives in London, was worried that she wasn't answering her calls either.
Right.
Which again isn't unusual. They want time away.
Yeah.
But because we were concerned, me, Ellie, and Marcus drove past here.
And I called Ross because Rachel was in Portugal.
Okay.
Just to make, we were all just worried. But because we saw the blinds are down and the light was on,
You thought,
they're doing what they want. They've got their weekend,
Yeah.
lights are on, they're just ignoring us. All cool.
Okay.
So then Eddie called me this morning, and I was always, I think we're both a bit uneasy.
Yeah, as you would be. Understandable.
And Eddie popped by first, saw the blinds were still down, immediately panicked. I was meeting them anyway, but Marcus called me and just given me that they're in the chairs, they're not moving, they're not replying. So I literally ran from home to
here to come check.
To here.
Okay.
And just as I got here, they just smashed the back window to get in.
Okay, fair enough. So you last saw them alive on Friday. Cool. And have you seen them today? Did you go in to see them yourself?
I have been in there, yeah.
You have? Okay.
And I went upstairs and the paramedic asked me to get all of Carol's medication that she's got a lot. Because sometimes she'll have various things over the years and for various operations she's had. And so I went upstairs and got anything that I thought looked like a tablet drawer downstairs and put it in a brown box for the paramedic. I don't know if any of it's valid, but I know Carol.
That's right. Yeah, they like to know what people take, gives them an idea as to what they suffer
you don't
from.
know what
she's actually taken.
Because quite often she might take, she has every morning levothyroxine, but sometimes she forgets and she could take it 6 or 7 times. I know that's
Really?
that, but I mean, she doesn't know. Or
She doesn't know she's taken it loads of times.
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's all we need to know for now.
Yeah.
We'll be in contact again, I'm sure, in the near future. But yeah, I really appreciate your time, and obviously very sorry for what's happened. Yeah.
Luke had been out the night before with Ellie, Marcus, and their baby son to celebrate Ellie's birthday. Ellie hadn't been able to get hold of her parents, but they had driven past their house when they went out for dinner, and they saw their lights were on and the blinds were shut. She assumed that they just wanted to be left alone for the weekend. Ellie said her parents had complained to her that Luke was constantly turning up at their home and they wanted some time away from everyone to relax. The police checked inside the house. There was no sign of a gas leak, no suicide notes, and no evidence of drug taking. So how had 2 people ended up dead, next to each other in their armchairs? A post-mortem was carried out on Carol Baxter, and her cause of death was ruled as fentanyl and promethazine toxicity with terminal bronchopneumonia. Stephen Baxter's autopsy showed that his cause of death was cardiomegaly, an alcoholic liver disease with fentanyl intoxication. Whilst they both had other medical conditions, it was confirmed that it was the lethal doses of fentanyl that had killed them. Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid that is up to 100 times more potent than morphine. It can be prescribed in some cases, but there is an increasing problem with illegally produced fentanyl in the UK. The police wanted to know how both Carol and Stephen had ended up with deadly amounts of fentanyl in their systems. The police ruled out the possibility that they'd taken it themselves and believed the couple had been poisoned. Investigators now had to find out who had poisoned them. Essex police were now treating this as a double murder. The police were suspicious that there may have been a financial motive linked to their murders. The Baxters were millionaires, and the police paid a lot of attention to those who might benefit financially from their deaths. And just 2 months after the couple's murder, their daughter, Ellie Baxter, was arrested on suspicion of murder. Early one morning in June 2023, the police arrived at the home Ellie shared with her husband and her son. She was 6 months pregnant with her second child and still in her nightclothes when they told her that they suspected her of killing her mother and father. She broke down and was taken to the station to be interviewed. But after a short time, she was released without charge. The police had got it wrong. Ellie had not been involved in her parents' death. Their attention then turned to the other person that the Baxters had treated like their own child, Luke DeWitt. Whilst Ellie had an alibi, Luke did not. During an extensive search of the Baxters' home, the police found used fentanyl patches. They also found a will that stated that the couple were giving Luke DeWitt their shower mat business. But the police discovered that that will was fake. Luke was now the prime suspect in Carol and Stephen's murders. The police searched Luke's home and they found 80 personal electronic devices. On those devices, they discovered that he had created 20 fake online personas, all of which had interacted with Carol or Ellie. The doctor in Florida who told Carol not to see her family was Luke. All of the members of the Hashimoto support group were Luke. The agent who made Ellie film singing auditions from the West End, Luke. Luke had even sent Carol a voice note, pretending to be a woman called Jenny, who Carol had met via the fake Hashimoto support group that he had set up himself.
Hi Carol, it's Jenny. It's Cheryl's sister. Yes, oh, so nice to finally speak to you after all these messages we've been doing.
Officers discovered that Luke had been plotting Carol and Stephen's murders for over 2 years. He had been putting fentanyl into those special health drinks that the fake doctor from Florida had been advising Carol to take. There were videos found on Luke's phone of Carol drinking them. The police also found a bag of metal tacks, usually used to secure things to wood, and looking back over Carol's medical records, they discovered that Carol had been admitted to hospital with stomach complaints, and some of these tacks had been found in her stomach. Taking fentanyl and the other drugs she was given, promethazine, would have made Carol experience dementia-like symptoms, indicating that Luke was able to get her to ingest them while she was incoherent. There were other videos on Luke's devices which showed Carol acting strangely after being poisoned. Luke would be laughing in the background. Luke was arrested at work in July 2023.
Luke, the reason we're here today, mate, is I'm going to have to arrest you, mate, alright? And that's on suspicion of murder. Alright, as part of a police investigation, you've been identified as being a suspect in relation to the deaths of Carol and Stephen Baxter, 27th and 9th of April 2023, alright? Okay. So that means you don't have to say anything, but may harm your defence. If you do not mention any questions, something you may later on in court, anything you do say may be evidence. That's so we can interview about the offence, enable any forensics that we need to be done, prevent any interaction with any co-defendants, alright, and to prevent any loss of damage or any evidence. Yeah. Alright. So we'll be taking you up to Channell custody and then there'll be a process from there, mate, all right? Have you been arrested before?
No.
Never been arrested, no?
No.
The process will be explained throughout, or obviously we're limited information what we've got at the moment, but anything further will be explained throughout the investigation, all right? Because I've never met you before, and obviously because of the offence of the allegation, I'm going to put you in handcuffs, but they're going to be at the front stack, buddy, all right? Just leave everything in your pocket in a minute,
Do you have
mate.
anything upstairs, like phone, keys, wallet, anything like that?
No, it's in my pocket.
It's all on you still?
Yeah.
Do you have any medical conditions?
No.
That we need to be aware of still?
No.
Cool. I'll make sure you fit. Have you not got to have epileptic fit on us or something?
No, nothing.
What have you got in your pockets, mate?
Phone.
In what pocket?
That one.
That pocket there, and keys in the other pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll leave them where they are at the moment, all right? We, when we get in the car, don't put your hands in your pockets, just leave them obviously out, and we'll get that out when we get to custody, all right?
Fraser, receiving?
Luke's trial started on the 14th of February 2024. Essex police said it was one of the most complex cases they had worked on. Prosecutor Tracy Ayling said that Luke had poisoned Carol in the cruelest way possible. When Luke took the stand, he told the jury that Stephen Baxter was in on the fake online profiles and that he had been the mastermind behind it all. He claimed that he was just the tech guy. The jury didn't believe Luke's version of events and dismissed his claims. In a search of Luke's home, they found drugs, including fentanyl patches. The jury also heard that on Good Friday 2023, 2 days before the Baxters were found dead, Luke had somehow made both Carol and Stephen ingest the fentanyl orally, most likely disguising it in food or drink. He then set up a camera in the conservatory where he left them that Friday night. Over the next 2 days, he watched them die via an app on his mobile phone. The Baxter's son Harry had to sit in court alongside his sister Ellie and their extended family and listen to these horrendous details. The trial took 6 weeks, and on the 20th of March 2024, Luke DeWitt was found guilty of double murder. He was sentenced to a minimum of 37 years in prison. Detective Inspector Lydia George, who led the investigation, said this outside of court.
Today, Luke DeWitt has been given a life sentence and will serve a minimum of 37 years in jail. However, it is simply impossible to put a number on the lives of Carol and Stephen. They were loving, generous parents, and they touched lives of many. They are entering a period in their lives where they should have been able to enjoy precious time with their grandchildren. They should have been planning holidays, looking forward to spending Christmases with family and living their lives to the full. Luke DeWitt took all that away in April 2023. He tried to cover it up. He went to great lengths to blame others who we know were not involved in any way. He clearly enjoyed the control he exerted over people, especially Carol and Stephen. Ultimately, the only person in this world who knows why he did this is Luke DeWitt, and he has proven time and time again to be a manipulator. What we do know is the significant sentence handed down is entirely fitting for the pathological liar that he is. For almost a year, we have been determined to secure justice in its entirety, and today marks the conclusion of one of the most complex investigations undertaken at Essex Police. 37 years in prison is a significant time, and there will not come a point where he will have spent more than his life in jail than not. Today, though, it's not about Luke DeWitt. It's about Carol, Stephen, and it's about their family. We know nothing will bring Carol and Stephen back. We know nothing can give the family back their loving mother, sister, and grandmother, or their generous father, brother, and grandfather. However, I truly hope this sentence is of some comfort to the family. Thank you.
Ellie Baxter paid tribute to her parents. She said, quote, "My mum was full of life, and she always pushed me to do better. We would have girly days out at the spa and plenty of shopping trips. She was my best friend. We would laugh together, cry together, and support each other. Over the coming years, we had planned to go travelling, as we both wanted to go to Japan and India. A dream of ours that can now never be fulfilled. My mum loved my son to bits. She would constantly buy him toys and take him out for walks in his pram. My dad was a strong man. There are no shortcuts in life, he would always say. He worked every day of his life and provided for my mum, my brother and I. There was nothing we ever needed. He loved us all. In June 2024, it was reported that the police were reviewing the deaths of some of Luke DeWitt's other relatives, including his father and grandfather. Detective Superintendent Rob Kirby from Essex Police said that, quote, "In all my years of policing, Luke DeWitt is one of the most dangerous men I have ever come across. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that had he not been caught, he would have gone on to kill further people." Thank you for watching. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to subscribe for weekly true crime videos like this. You've been watching Totally True Crime.